Residents, go in and stay in your houses. Drive the rats in the tank area.
Alrighty. What in the motherfucking blue fuck are we doing on Monday? That's right. It's Manic fucking Monday, people. Yes. Come in. Welcome, welcome. Share this shit out. Everybody needs a good laugh on a Monday, especially after a 118-degree motherfucking day. God damn. I could have fried bacon on my head out there.
In flipping Nebraska, that is crazy. That had to have broken all records. That has to be the all-time high.
Oh, I have no doubt. I have no doubt at all. Especially this close to fall. What the fuck?
In Omaha, how cold does it get? Like on some of your coldest nights, how it gets below zero?
It has in the past, yes, but I don't know about this year.
Yeah, shit.
But tonight we got a great show for you all. We also have a special guest co-host with us here, John motherfucking Carter, who's also going to be a guest host. Well, not a guest host, but co-host. That's what I meant.
Co-host, yeah.
So sorry. Fucking hell. You know, words are tough today. See, I can't even say the word tough. Anyway. Right. Of a new show that's coming out this Friday. And it's called The Goddamn Program. Stay peeled to Facebook for the next 3 days because you're going to get hit with it. And if you want to find out what it's all about, you're going to fucking love it. Definitely check that out. So before we get into our continuation of some of the funniest moments in metal and hard rock, we're going to take a quick commercial break to our wonderful sponsors over at Villain Arts Tattoos. Check it out. That is just for you, Kyler. Thank you for coming in, brother. Appreciate that. But Villain Arts Tattoos, convention's largest in the world. Definitely, if they come to your town, get your tickets. Get yourself some seriously good ink by world-class artists. And check out all the performances and all the merchants as well. All right. So, you know, I'm pretty sure at this point we all have Spotify. We use it regularly. And Spotify tends to, you know, suggest things to us. Would you guys agree?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Tell me why that when something like a cool playlist pops up and they suggest it for us, I get this. Now, here's the thing that kills me about this list. They call it the extreme metal workout. Now, first of all, I don't need to see no hunky ass dude, you know, that doesn't speak metal to me. Sorry, it just doesn't. But the list goes from Gojira to Obituary to Body Count.
I've never really understood.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I've never really understood how they curate that, because I mean, the thing of it is yeah, I mean, you hear about guys that like to, work out to Pantera, they work out to Hatebreed or whatever. And, my old hardcore band, people are like, yeah, I love to fucking work out to you guys and stuff. But it's just kind of like, what's the algorithm that they're using to curate that playlist? I mean, you've got Obituary, probably one of the worst Obituary songs on there, Redneck Stomp,
I hate that song. Yeah,
definitely not one of their better ones. Yes,
and I mean, as you guys can see, I'm a huge fucking Obituary fan. I love that band, but like, to me, I don't know, that was a jump the shark kind of thing, and with Body Count, I mean, yeah, I mean, me personally, I'm a big fan of Ice-T. I like Body Count. I like the fact that he's got guys from
they're in their own category though.
Yeah, but yeah, it's so fucking. It's so contrived and trivial how they come up with that. And I think what they really do, from what I've heard, not to get technical about it and take the funny out of it, when people will make their own playlist on Spotify and they'll post it. And a lot of times they'll call it the such and such workout playlist or whatever. And they got people behind the scenes that go through and see, okay, these people make these playlists, and so we're going to curate it off of that. You know what I mean? And it still doesn't really mean shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. 9 times out of 10 when I'm at the gym, I'm working out to podcasts. So,
Oh, but, absolutely. And apparently, Kyler, our wonderful, wonderful tuner inner, asked if he had missed anything. That's what you get. I tried to get you before. I couldn't. Now I got you. All good. So yeah, I just thought it. Kyler says, "Damn it."
Kyler doesn't like the skeletons, huh? Yeah.
It's the fact of the lazy nipple.
Oh shit. Now I can't unsee that.
So much, in fact, that I wrote a little song about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes.
When you're not feeling so good, there's the lazy nipple. It's the lazy nipple song.
Now that's your double shot of Danzig's lazy nipple just for you. We had to show John the awesomeness of that nipple, so we did that. But yeah, I just thought it was really funny how you can call that a. Kyler says, "I need wine." I'm sure you do after seeing that. But you're going to call the thing total extreme, mind you, extreme metal workout. So what does that tell most of us? It tells me I'm going to have a playlist of extreme metal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure, Hoofbeast, you probably thought the same damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then a little ways down, Sleep Token's on there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Not extreme metal.
So if you guys want some inside baseball with my shit, I go to the gym 3 to 5 days a week, whenever I can. And like I said before, I usually work out to podcast. What I actually find myself working out to is stuff with war metal, like Revenge, Bestial Mockery, Blasphemy, just basically stuff that's just full on blast beats that sounds like you're turning on a faucet and black metal's just coming out of it.
I want a faucet just like that.
That would be sick, wouldn't it?
It would be the shit.
So yeah, I mean, and the thing of it is, like the fucking total meathead, misanthropic, nihilistic motherfuckers that I know that lift weights, they tend to lean towards more black metal for lifting. Black metal or hardcore. And so yeah, I think you're right, Reaper. When you click on that to kind of check and see what the extreme metal workout playlist is whatever. You want something that's basically going to be kind of like a pre-workout in audio form. You know, you're going to tingle. You know, you're going to fucking be revved up. You know, but I don't know how they curate that other than, you know, the nerdy bullshit I said earlier about like they go through and check people's playlists, and you know, some people will say I work out yada yada. You know, so but yeah, it's just that, like myself. You know, if the sketchier the black metal, the heavier I lift. So that's kind of how I go.
Reaper, have you listened to Sleep Token ever since we did the show on your own? Like,
I mean, it pops up on the playlist at the shop ever so often.
oh, okay.
So that's like the only time I hear it. And of course, it resonates with, you know, a lot of the people that come into my store because, you know, a lot of them are, you know, this generation coming up. So I'm like, all right, I appeased you. But when it comes down to it, no, thank you.
Well,
Okay.
yeah. So
Can
what
you
I meant
guys-
is,
I'm sorry. Can you guys explain Sleep Token to me? Like for real? Like how would you guys break it down? Like for
Look,
100%.
Beast, I'm going to let you take it.
Please do.
we did a whole show on this. I think it was early May or late April.
Uh-huh.
It was right before their last album came out, and to me, it's fucking poser, total poser. So they use 7 or 8 string guitars. It can be a little genty at times, but then there's some songs that are straight sappy love pop. It's disgusting.
It's mostly
And-
sappy.
And
pop.
he'll do
Disguised
he'll do
in
kind
metal.
of he'll do higher extreme vocals sometimes, but he's super whiny. I mean, the guy can sing, but this is pop music. Some of them are total pop. Like there's not even any metal guitar in it at all. It's total pop, all electronic. It's awful.
So what I'm picturing is Spirit Box meets Ghost.
Pretty much. Yep. You hit the nail on the button. See, the mystique behind this fucking band was the fact that, oh, you know, they're faceless, they're unidentifiable who they are personally. So, you know, and then they came up with this like lore thing where, you know, every song is you know, basically a token to the ancient god Sleep. And what it all comes down to is they've done the one thing that modern metal bands today have yet to do, and that's hit the love song art form. Every damn song is fucking love songs to some girl. Broke his heart here. Oh, this is an infatuation with some other chick. So they're basically the Poison Warrant Motley Crue of today's metal, wrapped in what everyone finds as cool black metal style, or Ghost for that matter. And that's who they are.
But a lot of it is total pop.
Well, okay. So here's the thing too. What I've noticed with like some of the production of some of the newer metal that tends to be a little bit more, diverse. You know what I mean? Like when they kind of mix it up, they tend to lean towards a more of like a pop production. You know, I mean, it'll still be heavy, and it'll still kind of have, you know, certain elements. Prime example, which fucking makes my stomach turn even saying it, is Five Finger Death Punch. Okay, so that's a band that far too long. They've been around far too fucking long for, you know, and I heard one of their songs when they first came out, and I was like, okay, this is basically, it's like if the dude that works in the back of the kitchen, you know, at the restaurant that hasn't fucking bought an album since 1991, wants to hear something heavy, he fucking goes and listens to Godsmack because he doesn't know any better. You know what I mean? And the thing of it is,
Right.
I mean, there's good like musicianship, you know, that Zoltan Bathory, which I'm a huge Bathory fan. So the fact that this piece of garbage, his last name is Bathory, and he's in probably one of the worst bands to come out in the past fucking 20 years. He's an accomplished guitar player. And the other guitar player was Mandy Moore's guitar player. He was a studio guy that played in all these pop bands and all this Disney shit. So he lucks out and gets that. So anyway,
Yikes.
they come out at a time when metalcore is popping. You know, you've got Killswitch
Sadly.
Engage, All the Remains, all that stuff. Exactly. That's becoming the new formula. Like you said earlier, Reaper. It was the Poison, the Motley Crue of the time. You know what I mean? Every era has that, and so over the years we've had the emo core, which becomes like you've got bands like Falling in Reverse, you know, and just and
don't get me started on those assholes.
so to me, Sleep Token and all that, like, because we've got the internet nowadays, there is no underground. Everybody has access to everything now. So a band like Sleep Token will slip through the cracks. A band like Spirit Box will slip through the cracks. A band like Ginger will slip through the cracks or whatever. But because they've got a genty, heavy element, they tend to get stuck in there. And I don't know, unbeknownst to anybody else, you know, just like Sirius XM will throw them on, you know, liquid metal or whatever and go, oh, this is whatever. But it's corporate rock to its, you know, to the highest level, you know, and people fall for it. And I know people that are like, oh, I like it. What's good is good. I like what I like. But you, like all three of us, can smell bullshit when you hear a new band, even if it's got elements of shit that we like. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And
And
Sleep
then-
Token is the king of that.
And you got that right. They knew exactly what to do, what gravy train to jump on in order to have 2 million listeners a day. And then Spotify gives me this. Metal Essentials. Now, essential. So I'm going to just read off the first 10 songs that are on this cursed list. And then you tell me if they are metal essentials. So the first one is a remastered Seek and Destroy by Metallica.
Baby's first metal album is what they should call it. From Fisher Price.
Now,
You know.
this I find funny that they picked this song from this prolific, groundbreaking band as an essential. Black Sabbath's Iron Man.
Okay, you're jumping from an almost deep cut with Metallica. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, if you know, to probably the happy birthday of Black Sabbath, the Mary Had a Little Lamb of Black Sabbath. You know,
I mean,
domain.
I would have chose War Pigs, you know, or even a Symptom of the Universe or
Into the
something.
Void.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Into the Void would have been perfect.
See,
Then
Symptom
they
of the
switched
Universe,
to
would follow up Seek and Destroy really well. You know what I'm saying? But that's, you know, I used to make mixtapes back, all three of us. So that's
and
kinda,
everybody out
go
there
ahead, Reaper,
in
sorry.
that's all right. In the comment section, you guys feel free to tell us if you think these are metal essentials or they're not. So don't be afraid to tell us. The next one is Walk by Pantera. You know, it's not the Pantera song I would have chosen. I would have chose like fucking Mouth for War. I think would have made a better song choice as a metal essential, or even 5 Minutes Alone. I mean, I would kick it out for eating crackers.
Well, it's, to me, it's kind of like if you know what's essential, and what is the I don't know, the surface level introduction song. You know what I mean? So that Black Sabbath song and the Pantera song are surface level introduction, but the Metallica really one isn't. That's kind of like after you've, you know, fucked with Enter Sandman and, you know, maybe you know,
I would never suggest that.
one, you know what I mean? But I'm just
Right.
saying, like, Enter Sandman is the fucking Walk of Metallica. You know what I mean? You know,
Sadly.
yeah.
Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth. Now, would you say that that is essential Megadeth Hoof Beast?
Oh,
What would you have put in there?
Holy Wars.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Absolutely.
dude. Yes. Yeah. Holy Wars or Hangar 18 or even Peace Cells. Peace Cells has got that
Yeah,
same
I
kind
mean,
of.
they're fucking classic,
Mhm.
you know. Raining Blood by Slayer.
Guitar Hero.
I would have went with like Angel of Death. When I think of Essential Slayer, that song definitely comes out. And even Seasons in the Abyss.
That's a great
I
song.
mean, I know it's not like a super
100%.
fast one, but you know,
Dude. Well, I mean, it fits in there with if you're gonna, if you have to have Symphony of Destruction and Walk, you know what I mean? Because I love Season, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
exactly. Rain and Blood is played out.
I don't know, Kyler. I don't know why they didn't choose Cowboys from Hell. I'm really kind of concerned with their picking ability. And he also agrees that he would have picked Peace Cells.
Mhm.
And John says, both Pantera and Metallica have been used in ECW wrestling. Yep, that's back when they could get away with it for sure.
Yeah. What's next?
I don't think Raining Blood is that bad
That
of a
was for later. Okay.
Raining
No,
Blood.
you're
Like that's not
Go ahead,
that's
Opie.
compared to the Symphony of Destruction. Like that's a terrible choice. That's the worst so far, I would say. Either that or the Iron Man that's a pretty bad choice.
Oh,
sweating
this will get
bullets.
you. This will get you. Motorhead. Hellraiser.
No, it should have been Ace of Spades, probably.
Oh my God!
Why?
Yeah, you would think that they would.
Why would they miss the mark on the easiest motor song to put down as an essential?
Yeah, that's the raining. That's the Raining Blood and War Pigs of Motorhead. I mean, or even if they put in Overkill, or fucking. I would pick Eat the Rich over Hellraiser.
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh yeah, easy. Yeah, most def.
I mean,
Are
if you're
you
trying
ready
to go
for
with
this next one?
Oh shit, this is gonna be good.
Kick Start My Heart, Motley Crue.
Jesus.
A metal essential. I mean, what kind of message are we trying to give, let's say, someone new to the world of heavy metal by giving them that fucking song?
The only thing worse for Motley Crue would have been Girls.
I mean, shit.
I was like, what the fuck is this? I hated that fucking. There was no way I was going to go see them.
No. Welcome, Dirk Don. He says, when will Limp Bizkit's new album get the recognition it deserves? I haven't heard it. And to be honest with you, I'm not a fan. I can appreciate what they did in the explosion of the new metal scene back in early 2000. But honestly, I don't know. Probably won't give it a spin. If somebody gives me a free copy, then probably.
Nope. I've got no love for new metal. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I think that Limp Bizkit will get the credit they deserve when I've been dead in the ground for about a good 6 months, at least. I mean, this new metal revival is fucking making me ill. There's so many fucking hardcore bands that are aping so many of the elements of new metal. I get it. There's young kids that weren't there for the explosion of it, and they've got parents that sadly listened to it that got them into it, because I raised my kids on what I listen to, but I'm sorry, it's just, to me, new metal is the lowest form of heavy music. It always has been to me. It's like it's the douchebag in the kickwear or the fresh jive jeans, bigger than fucking anything you've ever seen, hanging out at the fucking at the head shop, hitting on 14-year-old girls, You know what I mean? It's just with a fucking purple goatee. You know, it's the fucking worst. It's what metal deteriorated to in the early 2000s. So I will, yeah, it can. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that Limp Bizkit, the analogy I would use is I lived in Saudi Arabia for 3 years. And the first time I had Saudi Arabia ice cream, it is super artificial. It does not taste natural at all. Like it tastes really fake, like even worse than Dippin' Dots. It's
Flavored
and
air.
so the taste is it just you're just kind of ready to be done with it. Like with most new metal, not all of it to me, but most of it, definitely Limp Bizkit is like there's not enough to chew on. There's not enough that's complicated or interesting. I can't take music that is, if it's not super dark and it's not super heavy in that way, like it's just kind of frothy. It's the foam on beer. It's not that good.
Yeah, and
I need,
my issue with
Absolutely.
new metal is they've taken something that was supposed to be heavy, and then they like they just dumped a bunch of like unnecessary shit on it. You know what I mean? Like
For
you know,
sure.
like you get Corn, they down tune to A, right? And then we're gonna put dee doo dee and some scratches and rapping over it, and it's just like you took a heavy fucking sick breakdown, and you had to put extra shit to embellish because you didn't you didn't trust yourself enough. You know what I mean? Just leave it the fuck alone. If it's not broke, don't fucking fix it. Too much fucking unnecessary fixing done to heavy music is what fucking new metal is.
Well, thankfully, the last one I'm going to share from this putrid list of fuckery, they actually got it right. Holy Diver, Dio.
that's really good.
Yeah.
So I'll give it to them there. They at least by the 10th song picked something that was very appropriate, I think.
I think
Ronnie James,
I
we love
think
you.
we need to appreciate all comments. So like, I really do appreciate somebody throwing in something from Limp Bizkit because then you get to hear
Sure.
perspective because we're all musicians. Like we're totally dedicated to metal, and we get to describe like why certain types of metal just aren't for us. But it's
Absolutely. And that's why we encourage everybody out there in Black Flame Land. Tell us your thoughts. As a matter of fact, Kyler even said, he said Korn should have been on there, Slipknot, and System of a Down. Chances are, since they went kind of hit based from a lot of the bands that they put on there, I wouldn't be surprised if they are further down on that list.
How many songs are on the list, Reaper? How many songs are on it?
Let me see. I couldn't get past the first 10. So,
okay.
What does it say actually? It tells me 8 hours and 2 minutes long. So there's got to be a considerable amount of songs on this. So my thing is though, the first 10 songs, if it don't grab me, I'm probably not going to want to hear the rest. I'm just not.
True.
That's just me. I can't help it. So are we ready to get to the hilarious portion of our This Says It All? This is a what the fuck moment in metal and hard rock. So these are some funny moments that I was able to find that definitely is going to make us all laugh. That's for sure. So let me go ahead and hit the present. Find it. There we go. So we start out with the great Ian Gillan, drunk as fuck, singing Highway Star. You tell me if he nails it.
Mickey Mouse and all that love. Ow! Nobody ever gonna be my car. I got it. We got. Oh, man. All right. And I did have.
Oh, that was awesome. Never gonna be my car.
What was that about Mickey Mouse and something else?
Well, how about you got fucking Richie Blackmore looking like a pilgrim, like over there on the side with a fucking a hat with a buckle on it. Oh my god!
You know, if it wasn't for, I'm starting to wonder now because Ian Gillan was like the go-to vocalist for so many different bands during the 70s and the early 80s. Everybody wanted him. Was it really because of his look or his vocals, or were they doing something in the studio to really make his vocal sound better? Because what I just heard was a drunken diatribe about nothing.
Mickey Mouse wanting to be his car or something like that.
I swear that's what he said. I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought I heard that. What do you think, Hoof Beast?
That's what I heard.
That was just fucking awful, and it was live. So I don't know. Maybe they figured everybody that's here is either high or drunk, so they're probably just thinking it's badass either way, right?
But the thing about Ian Gillan,
What's up,
though,
Paul?
is you can actually, even though he was fucking like totally ad-libbing, his voice is still pretty badass. I've always loved that mock, or what do they call it, that era of Deep Purple. I mean, like, he had a good look and he had a really good vocal range, and him and Robert Plant were like the guys that really kind of like coined that kind of like that high pitched screaming and that that really intense and like the kind of like the sexy swagger with long hair and like kind of like going high down to bluesy, and what's funny about that is even though he clearly was lost and didn't know where the fuck he was at, he still sounded like Ian Gillan. So he's like, hey, what, like you said, everyone in the audience is completely fucking baked anyway. So there's kind of, hey, whatever's going on is cool. In the 60s, they called it a happening. It's a happening going on, man. So let's just dig it.
Indeed. So this next moment we come to is a drunken Ringo Starr at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction of the Beatles.
I have this speech written here, and in 1922 when I wrote it, I could see it. So we'll just rip that up. You can sit down. I'm going to be here for hours.
It is unfortunate Paul's not here because he was the one who had the speech in his pocket.
Oh!
And why didn't they play Octopus's Garden?
We'll talk about that later.
Well, when I'm
Okay, we're all doing nothing. Give us the prize and let's get home here. You know what I mean?
It won't happen. Oh my god.
I don't know. I got to give George Harrison the award for you saved it a little bit there.
To me, even
Honestly, that was
Go
Ringo's
ahead, Hoofbeast.
drunk is not interesting. I'm sorry. There's nothing interesting about Ringo Starr. I don't give a shit. All the
His
Beatles,
drumming certainly wasn't interesting.
he is fucking boring. Even drunk, he's boring.
what was that one song that he had? He had one hit song, right? Like I'll hear it every once in a while, like on like an oldies thing on XM or whatever. He had like one song, and I think they only gave him a song only because the other dudes, had songs, and I wonder if he was. If they let him in the band because he had the PA and he had a van. I've never understood how Ringo Starr ended up in the Beatles.
I don't know. Nobody else was available. Very nice. Ringo we will put it on the fridge to look at it for all to see. You couldn't have said it better there, Kyler. Now, this next portion is by far one of my personal favorites because Axl Rose gives us a very Axl moment or three. Check this one out and see if you can not laugh while it's happening.
Happen that way
No podrá ser así,
because we will fucking go home.
porque nos vamos a ir a casa.
Poor girl.
Don't try me.
No, no lo hagan.
Interpreter, if you want to throw another fucking bottle,
Si quieren tirar otra botella,
we will fucking go home.
nos vamos a casa.
Okay? Comprendo? Interpreter, if you see somebody beside you
Si ustedes ven a alguien al lado suyo
throwing something,
tirando algo,
beat the fucking shit out of them.
péguenle.
Por favor, no tiren botellas, no tiren cosas y no les escupan.
Shut the fuck up! If you see somebody throwing shit, spitting shit, lighting shit on fire,
Si ven a alguien tirando algo, escupiendo o haciendo algo malo,
beat the fuck out of them.
échenlo.
What do you want to say before?
Oh my God. I'm just crying over here. That shit was so funny.
I don't blame his sentiment, but I think that
I mean-
when you've got an interpreter, it kind of loses the intensity a little bit.
That was the part that kind of killed me the most. And this kind of like became a regular fucking thing because somebody could have like wiped their nose wrong and Axl would like jump down throats. So it's like they're on this, at the height of their career, right? And they're in foreign countries and, he's done some things along the way, I think personally, like not fucking play, not show up, decide that he just doesn't feel like it today. That fans just, they're passionate fans, I mean, we've seen it happen with what's their fucking names? I can't. Well, the one band we all love to hate. I'm just trying to think of the name. It'll come to me, but what'd you think of that there, Beast?
Yeah, I agree that the interpreter really took it down a notch. And I saw Twisted Sister open up for Iron Maiden on the Power Slave tour, and they were throwing bottles at Dee Snider. Dee Snider's big and wearing his football gear and all of that. Man, he was going to jump in the fucking crowd. Or at least he had us all believing he was going to jump in the crowd and beat the shit out of somebody. And Axl, just all he can do is threaten to leave because of possibly, a handful of people who had thrown bottles up there. Yeah, that's real cool. I agree with his name, Axl Rose.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. We all come from an era where bands used to play behind chicken wire. Am I right or am I wrong? So, I mean, occasionally some stupid drunk fan might do something stupid.
Well, and when you've got like 10 million fucking people in the crowd at like a Rock and Rio or whatever, you're going to have more assholes, and Axl Rose is probably upset that he can't out asshole about 10,000 assholes. So, I mean, it's kind of a tough task for him. So I feel for the guy,
What's up, JD?
Maybe what Axl Rose should do is hire 3 to 5 men that sit along the front of the stage and they look fucking assholes. And then you go and get them and kick them that flip out.
I mean, what makes you think that, they're going to respond to this quaint little, poor girl? I mean, I felt so bad for the interpreter who has to tell the crowd what the hell just came out of asshole's mouth, right?
Mhm.
So, I'm sure they got even more pissed just because he made her say all that shit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and if when you were in 6th grade, you enjoyed group punishment for the one asshole in the class.
Oh yeah, exactly. I've worked places before too, where like one person does something stupid, and then all of a sudden, all right, nobody can listen. We can't listen to the radio anymore, because this guy, did whatever, or you know what I mean, or just I don't like that whole blanket punishment shit, So Axel's got like one asshole in the crowd that throws something on stage, and everyone else has got to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
JD for the win. He says he should have been the one face planting running to the stage.
Instead of
Pour a bath.
He's still the fucking
And,
man.
oh, here we go. Dirk says back in the day, Slash befriended Insane Clown Posse and would call up Violent J talking about how much he hated Axel. Yeah, that's very true. No one wanted to like continue and play for the fans and play the hits and stuff than fucking Slash. And I mean, we all know the moral to the story. Axel fucked everything up. Now, here is a really interesting moment with the great Phil Anselmo. Now, mind you, he is sober-ish these days, but this was definitely not one of his best moments.
Before we leave you,
Do what thou wilt. That shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.
any more? No? You have the mic, please.
Wait.
Thank you,
That
Philister Crowley.
the poor interviewer was asking him to what's your final message for your fans, and that's what he had to say. And he didn't even get it right, because you saw at a moment there he was like, love under will.
Well,
he wasn't even sure if he got it right. It's like, why would you even say that in the first place?
Because he's probably going through a thelema phase for like a week in between heroin binges.
Oh, no, wait a minute. We got some insight here from one of our wonderful people out in Black Flame Land. He says, no, Phil wasn't intoxicated. That was just his Crowley impression. Well, I'll tell you what, it definitely threw the interviewer for a loop, because he refused to say anything after that, even after the guy said, do you have anything else to add? He's like, no. Okay.
Do you think there's stuff like that, like when Phil Anselmo does that in interviews? Do you think he's like trying too hard to fucking be like weird, or is he really that fucking weird?
I think back in those days he would try a little bit harder. What do you think, Hoof Beast?
I think that was just asshole-ish of him. It's not artistic. Like, what's he really trying to achieve with this? Like, he's so cool. Like, I always hated people that acted like that. And just be genuine, just be nice to everybody, and give us some insight and let us learn a little bit and get a little bit closer to you. Don't act like that. Like, that's an asshole move to me.
Yeah, he's definitely not like that anymore. Every interview I've seen of his in, like, let's say the last 5 to 6 years, he's been totally fucking cool. Ever since he hit 50, You
got to wonder too that, like, when, if not to kind of like validate or kind of like condone that kind of shit, but these guys, they give so many interviews. They got so many people that come up there and talk to them and shit, that like they probably get to a certain point where like they're kind of numb, and the concept of being a good person to every person that they talk to, they just kind of like they start to lose it. Because I can't imagine being as fucking huge as like Phil Anselmo, or even so it's like you guys ever encountered, like you hear about a certain artist, like, oh yeah, they're the nicest guy ever, and you meet them and they're a fucking dick, or vice versa, or someone's like, oh man, someone's such a dick, blah blah blah, and then you catch them on the wrong day. But the thing of it is like that one wrong day or that one bad day gets videotaped and put out there, and then they're fucked forever. And so what you said, Hoof Beast, totally makes sense. Be consistently fucking good to people and be consistently cool, because like that, like, I mean, think about it. You see like an interview from like 2 years ago, and you think that's from 2 weeks ago, and you're like, oh no, so and so, you know what I mean? It's just fucking crazy. So it's weird that people even still kind of give Phil Anselmo a pass with all the other stuff that he's done too. So I don't know. That's a whole other topic for some other time.
That's a good point.
Paul, I think Paul said it best there, and I thought Gaul was cryptic.
Satan.
Now this next moment, actually, we're gonna skip over this one, just because time constraints, all that good stuff. But I think you get the gist of it. This is definitely a favorite moment where some kids interview the great Tom Araya of Slayer.
Okay, one of the issues I have is that I'm supposed to wear hearing aids, so I don't hear very well.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to speak up.
Okay, when was the last time you laughed so hard you cried?
I cry because I'm sad and I'm here. I can't remember the last time I laughed. When you hang out with people like this out on the road and stuff, it's really hard. It's hard to find a moment of laughter. Yeah, a modern day Addams Family. Yeah, that would be my family. We have skulls and stuff and bloody things on the walls.
How often when you were a kid and lip syncing in front of a mirror, who were you pretending to be?
Oh, say that again?
When you were a kid and lip syncing in front of the mirror, who were you pretending to be?
Oh, believe it or not, I did do that. But I had a broom in my hand. I played a broom. I wasn't really pretending to be anybody, but I sang to Beatles songs because I grew up listening to the Beatles. So I'm a big fan of theirs. But I would sing and play the broom and then sing Beatles songs. Don't you do that? Don't you do that? Sometimes it's fun. It's fun to do that.
Just don't know. First of all, he talked mad shit about everyone he's on the road with.
Yeah, I caught that.
That includes his bandmates. He's like, I can't. There is no laughter with being on the road with these guys. Really? Did you just not like him? And then
There is such a thing as too much information and too much candidness. You know what I mean? Like I think that the internet and social media, and as much as I love it, YouTube has ruined the mystique and the image of so many people,
For sure.
And I don't want to see Tom Araya talking to two random elementary school kids. That's got nothing to fucking do with anything that I care about, that's even Tom Araya, related. You know what I mean? And anybody who thinks that would be a cool idea or a cute thing, it's just like, it's a total fucking waste of time. And you could tell that he felt the same way too. So to anybody that was watching that or interested in that, if you actually wanted to watch that and you cared about what the fuck questions elementary school girls would ask Tom Araya, then you should probably just stick your head in a fucking hole and never fucking come out, because you have no fucking right to even fucking listen to or see or do it. That shit is so fucking mind-numbingly boring and so fucking pointless that it's just like, it fucking ruins shit for me. I don't know. Sorry to rant about it, but I fucking hate that shit so much.
Whose fucking idea was that in the first place? This was Tom Araya of Slayer. You're gonna ask him, what do you remember laughing in? Fuck no! Do you listen to his songs? There's nothing to laugh about there. It's all mass murder and death, and What do you think of Beast?
Yeah, let's move on to the next one. Like, like
I
Yeah.
back that.
I don't like the image of him being rude to kids, though.
Yeah.
Girls, but I also like I see his point 100%. I would be
Yeah, for sure.
well. It's some bullshit. You know, like you can get so much information on Slayer. You know, ask him something interesting that's gonna like maybe an aspiring vocalist is gonna want to
right. Which is why I'm like, whoever came up with that idea needs to be slapped. That's just me. But yeah, most definitely. Let's see what the great Dave Mustaine does when hit in the head with an oversized bra while doing a guitar solo.
I've seen this.
This is so fucking unbelievably huge. It's gotta be a joke. $40 double D.
That's it.
All right, where did this come from?
12-year-old, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, all right, you homo. Some guys waving at me. This is more woman than you can handle, brother. Fuck. It's almost like a hat, isn't it? Listen.
But the true lover of the sport.
Kept playing, didn't miss a note. My big question is what was going through his head as this thing landed on his fret hand, his arm right there, and continuing to play.
I wanted him to grab the bra and jump off stage with a parachute.
That would have been fucking fantastic.
By the way, I always hated Dave Mustaine's Dean headstocks on his Dean V's. I hated that headstock. It was too straight. I always liked the Jacksons that had the curve or the reverse. Those were pretty LTD, rich.
And I don't like how the wings are on it. You know what I'm saying? The wings are side because I've got a Dean Select V with like the V-shaped head, right? And the wings are in it. I love that. You know what I mean? The ridiculously fucking big headstock, but like those Deans that came out with the smaller kind of like Ibanez type heads with the sideways wings just never looked good, Wear it like Hooterman. That's awesome.
I agree. I have
Paul says wear it like Hooterman. He could have invented a new superhero, I guess.
Okay.
Hooterman.
So here's the thing about the whole bra thing thrown up on stage. Real quick. So I am an unashamed, huge Kiss fan. Like I'm a big fan of 80s Kiss. I'm an even bigger fan of early 70s Kiss. But on every fucking live concert I've ever seen of Kiss in the 80s, people are throwing panties and bras up on stage. And what Dave Mustaine did by just tossing it to the side, I completely fucking applaud that because he's just like, this is not fucking, this isn't the place for that shit, right? But you get fucking like
not a Megadeth concert, no.
Well, I mean, yeah, and then Gene and Paul, like on the Kiss Animalized live concert, they're hanging every bra and every panty and whatever, like on the mic stand, on the ends of their guitars. So by about midway through the set, they're just like covered in just nasty fucking stank bras and panties from these fucking 80s skanks that throw shit on stage or whatever, and like they're just, and like Paul's like putting it in his mouth and flossing with it and shit, and I'm just kind of like, what Dave did was like the perfect move. And did you notice how he was still doing like the bend, vibrato bend one hand while he threw it to the side. You know what I mean? That's just, that's the consummate fucking shredder move right there. So, I applaud him, for doing that. And, and then kind of talking about how ridiculous the whole throwing, I mean, okay. And what are you going to achieve by that? Unless you add a note saying, I am going to be at this hotel room or whatever, or this is my name, hit me up or whatever. You just throw random fucking underwear on stage. It's kind of a way. I mean, bra, man, I've been married for a long time, and you ask my wife, and and I'm sure Reaper, you can ask your wife as well. Bras are not cheap,
No,
especially
they're not.
especially for well endowed women. They're not cheap, and and if if you're gonna
That's
throw
a cell
about
phone
$45
bill and a
worth.
half.
Yeah, dude. So anyway, that's my underwear rant. So.
I wonder if Kiss had a Goodwill or a Salvation Army representative there to pick up all the bras and take them in.
I mean, that would have made great fucking sense, actually.
The Kiss Salvation
they,
Army, perhaps.
at least they would have, made a contribution to society.
Yeah.
So here is a fantastic. This is one of my favorite Ozzy Osbourne interviews of all time. This one's kind of short though. It's really good though. Check this out.
And we're talking with the one and only Ozzy Osbourne. Good evening, Ozzy.
What?
Good evening, Ozzy.
Hello there.
How are you?
Fine.
Ozzy, first of all, it has been...
Ozzy.
He actually could speak then, everyone. I mean, granted, he was doing his, I'm out of my fucking mind, whatever. But just that look in his eyes, you could just tell he was fucking gone.
He looked like fucking Linda Blair possessed by Pazuzu in that fucking shit, dude. His eyes were all funky. It's those crazy fucking interviews in the 80s is why people thought he was so fucking nuts,
But, they never thought, well, Satanic Panic and all that aside, I understand that bit, but they just didn't think that maybe he just consumed an entire fifth of
everything.
fucking motor oil or some shit, like he's just totally just not there. That's not him. It's the fact that he was drunk. I don't know. It kills me. He's got some really good ones. And then he's got some where he just seems like a regular person. He just didn't happen to be in the bag at that time. So
What about the famous one where he's like he's cooking breakfast, on the decline of Western civilization? He's just like, last night we came back from the car about 2 o'clock in the morning, yeah. So it's just kind of bacon, and then he's like stirring up the fucking eggs and like, all right, what's the point of this? But it's classic because it's fucking Ozzy making eggs in the morning. That's fucking awesome. That was my introduction to fucking Ozzy Osbourne.
To be honest,
I would love Ozzy to cook me fucking breakfast. That'd be sweet.
But shit.
I saw Ozzy in 2015, and he talked to the crowd a lot, and he never spoke like that. Like that's what I was expecting, is his mumbling gibberish, and he didn't do that at all. Like he was really clear.
Wow, dude, I've known people that have seen him live, and they're like they didn't understand any of the stage banter except for "We love you," and then everything else was kind of blah blah blah. So you caught him on a fucking good night, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, you could get out. I saw him in Abu Dhabi, and you could get alcohol there. It's only at the hotels, though. So
right,
damn,
clean.
Otherwise, you get your hand cut off, or you get castrated for drinking.
Yeah, that's how.
Or a large spanking in public.
Sexy.
All right, so we're gonna close out our fantastical funny moments with the great Rick Wakeman of Yes, as they are getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, and this is what he decided to say.
I'd like to, obviously, I'm very happy here for a couple of reasons to be in Brooklyn. One is the fact, obviously, of being part of Yes and getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And the other is something I really probably shouldn't tell you, is that less than half a mile away from this very building was where I had my very first meaningful sexual experience. No, please, no. No, it wasn't very good. Never is when you're on your own. Anyway, as Steve said a thank you to his wife, I want to say thank you to mine. Unfortunately, she's not here tonight. When I left her this morning, I think she was in a coma, actually. Well, I think she was in a coma. Sex was still the same, but the washing was piling up. And
he's funny.
But I would like to thank
Bill
from all the
Bruford
guys
back
in
there's
Yes that I worked
dying.
with, my father, who played a massive part in my musical career. My family were all in the entertainment business. We genuinely were very, very poor. My father was an Elvis impersonator, and well, there wasn't much call for that in 1947. And he, but he was, he taught me a lot. I remember he sat me down once and said, son, he said, don't go to any of those really cheap, dirty, nasty, sleazy strip clubs, because if you do, you'll see something you shouldn't. So, of course, I went, and I saw my dad. They,
You guys fucking awesome. I'm sorry.
But I learned a lot. I'd like to thank the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame very much for inducting us. The only thing I would say, I'm glad that we're actually up third, because as you get older, you know, the old things like the prostate start acting up a bit, and the distance between comfort breaks gets less and less. But I would like to say quite seriously how important it is to have the old examination, which I had indeed on Monday. No, and for you ladies who don't know, it's really tough. You have to get in the old fetal position. You hear the old plastic glove go on, the rubber glove. And then it's like a gopher going on holiday inside your rectum. And while I was having my whilst I was having my examination, the doctor said to me, he said, Mr. Wakeman, he said, there's no need to be embarrassed. It's not unusual to get an erection at this kind of procedure. And I said, I haven't got an erection. He said, I know, but I have. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Hey, dude.
What?
He was doing stand-up.
What do we say to that?
I think I'm going to start listening to Yes just because that was fucking awesome. That was awesome. His timing was great. I mean, it sounded. I bet you he had somebody like Ricky Gervais or somebody like write some shit for him. If you're gonna do like an induction speech, that's the way to do it, man. Like, I don't know the first thing about Yes except for Owner of a Lonely Heart and some other fucking indulgent fucking piano bullshit from the 70s, but like, that was fucking rad.
I mean, that's, you know, again, you're in front of all your, you know, esteemed colleagues and everybody who gets invited, you know, to this thing. There's industry people all over the audience there, and you're up there talking about your prostate and catching your dad in a strip club. You know, the 70s was just, you know, a high point of our career, and you know, we all kind of went off in our different way. Nope, he's up there talking about life.
Yep. Nobody wants to hear about his fucking, 20-minute keyboard solos and, and like how he wrote a song about a unicorn marrying a fairy or any bullshit that they sung about, like he's a very funny stand-up comedian, I would say, at this stage of the game, or, he's just so old that he doesn't even give a shit, but that was some Monty Python-esque type shit right there. That was good.
He's actually the go-to guy in metal for keyboards because he's that damn good. He's played for everybody. He played for Ozzy quite a few times. He was in the background, but he played on a lot of his records. And he's done some other artists. It's kind of escaping me. You take a look at this guy's resume; it's pretty fucking long. You know, he just became after Yes, he became more of a behind the scenes kind of guy. But as a keyboardist, I got nothing but respect for that motherfucker. But
What
man,
about,
I had no idea he was that funny.
yeah, what about Ian Pace? Is it Ian Pace, the guy from Deep Purple? He was a shredder, man. But yeah, like Rick Wakeman, he wrote movie scores, and I want to say I don't quote me on this. I think he wrote some Broadway shit and whatever, like anything that was music. He wrote
It's
musicals and
quite
stuff like that.
possible.
So, yeah. So I mean, even though Yes isn't the most metal band or whatever, but they were definitely groundbreaking progressive
hard rock.
music. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But
If you're
but yeah,
gonna
man,
check them out though, listen to Roundabout.
oh fuck yeah, dude. That's okay. You know what? I forgot
It's
that
my
that was
favorite
Yes.
all-time Yes song.
That fucking the song goes
The
hard.
bass guitar is fucking sick.
No, you're totally
Yeah,
right
his
about that.
keyboards were awesome.
If Rush and Yes gave a speech like that because it was a protest about it's about fucking time. I mean, especially
I bet you're right.
Rush should have been in there years and years and years and years ago. Early to mid 90s, they should have been in there.
You would have thought so. You don't wait until half these guys are damn near dead to finally induct them, And it's a good thing they inducted Yes when they did, because Wakeman's not with us anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, he's dead. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Damn.
That was a
Well, I won't
sad
be
day,
thinking-
man. Oof.
Yeah.
It was just a
Won't be
few
able to
years
check
ago.
out his fucking set anytime soon. He was fucking funny, man. He was really funny.
Was.
And I wish more artists from that time would have been like, yeah, we're the reason that the Rock Hall of Fame got created in the first place. So you should have started with us after you got done with the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah.
Hell, I think it took the Doors. The Doors didn't even go in until 96 or 97?
Well, the Rock Hall of Fame is
Which is
bullshit
insane.
anyways. So I mean,
Yeah.
the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they induct people that had nothing to do with rock and roll. They induct people way too late. They fucking fought against inducting a lot of people. I mean, the one that people have talked about for years and years and years was Kiss. Kiss never got inducted, and I think Rage Against the Machine got inducted recently, and they after maybe not even 30 years, and you got Kiss, and Joan Jett just got fucking inducted, I believe, and just it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's political.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Anyone wants to talk about a rigged election? There's one.
Yeah, it doesn't speak to real fans and what people really. Yeah, I bet there's some missing Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ballots in a swamp in Georgia somewhere too.
Any hoozle. Thank you all so much for joining us on this fantastical Manic Monday. Hopefully we got you to laugh. We got you to laugh, cry, perhaps. And you could even tell me to go fuck myself. I don't care. As long as you had a good time with us, we appreciate you all who showed up. Everybody out in the comment section, you guys fucking rock as always. We appreciate you so much, for hanging with us here every Monday. And thank you, John, for being a guest tonight on the tracks, man. It was a blast.
Pleasure,
and
man.
I appreciate it. Absolutely. And you can definitely look forward to more programming on Black Flame Entertainment this week. Coming up Thursday, I have a great, awesome dude by the name of Lorcan Black coming on to the Underground Thursday. So, guy's a hell of an author. as well as a musician. He's got a metal band, and then he has a side project with his wife. I think that's awesome. And he's also an active COS member. So definitely tune in for that. It'd be great having him to stop by, have a conversation. Thank you, Paul. Always. We will always creep it real. I love that. I'm going to have to steal that. No, I won't steal it. I'll just use it. Anyway, so as you're looking through YouTube and you happen to come across a little bit of a funny piece of metal, just remember where you first saw it was right here on Tracks from the Dan, because you always, one second, are staying heavy.
All residents, go in and stay in your houses. Drive the rats in the tank area.